Welcome to The Growth Equation. This isn't your typical business podcast. We're keeping it real about the challenges of scaling up. Period. I'm Tristan Wright and I've been there. I've built and scaled my own business. I've sold it. I've learned a ton along the way. Now I'm bringing you the no BS stories of founders who are in the trenches right now, navigating that messy middle. We're talking advertising, marketing, design, creative, branding, the whole 9 yards. Doesn't matter if you're a solopreneur or running a team of 100. Everyone's got a secret sauce, that thing that makes them different, better. We're going to uncover it. So grab a coffee and let's get real. Today we're talking to Phil from Back Nine Creative, coming all the way from Invercargill in New Zealand. Welcome, Phil.
Hey Tristan, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So I was talking to you a minute ago, just off air, asking about the name of Back Nine, and I said, "Is it golf related?" But apparently, I'm wrong. Rugby related.
Yeah, well, it is rugby related initially. So I've always played a little bit of golf, not very well, but yeah, I played halfback when I used to play rugby. So number 9 was kind of my number and my lucky number. 9 was on my back, and so it started with the number 9, trying to figure out what do I find that what can I name my business that utilizes that or integrates it, and sort of trying to find something that's not taken, and there's a domain name available, all that sort of stuff. So went through, and then I was like, actually, I like the golf connotations, and it sort of led from there. And then I guess it's a bit corny, but the first studio I moved into, I wasn't sure if I should make that leap or not, and the address was 81 of the street. So, and in numerology, so as a graphic designer, I did a lot of research around number 9, looked into numerology and all that stuff. And number 9 is a very powerful number. It's the highest single-digit number, and in numerology, numbers always come back to one digit. So 8 and 1 was 9, and I was kind of like, oh well, that must be I'll take it as a sign, whether it is or not. And I'll back 9. So when you bet on something, you back it, right? So it sort of just fell into place.
Yeah, interesting. So how long ago was that you set up Back Nine?
Oh, mate, so that was 2013 when I took the business full time. So I had started it part time prior to that, and so 12 years ago now.
So many people start as freelancers and just dipping their toes in the water, and then go from there.
Yeah.
So, tell me the story. You started as a part time, then went full time. 13 years later, where are you now? What's the journey been like?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, we started, like I say, part time doing. Well, when I say it was part time, I had another part time job. I was still doing the stuff full time, really, but I'd do anything anyone asked of me, and I always sort of wanted to get into the web development space. Not that I necessarily was very much wanting to do it myself, but I saw that was the direction I wanted to take the business. But we started as graphic design for print and signage and stuff like that, and then moved gradually over the years into web, and to the point now where probably 2 years ago now we dropped print, signage, design altogether, and recently just dropped brand identity as a service as well.
Yeah, wow. So you've progressively niched down into your main skill set.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the thing around the web design for us is that it's growth-driven design we really want to focus on as well. It's not just a set-and-forget website. We don't believe a website's one and done. So, we're trying to find the right people now that kind of believe that and get that a website is an investment. In fact, it's like a staff member. You should constantly be upskilling it, upgrading it. Yeah.
So for those of us or the listeners that don't know, tell us where Invercargill is.
So Invercargill is right at the bottom of New Zealand. The bottom of the world, really. So we're a stone's throw from Stewart Island is the next one, which is tiny little place, and then Antarctica. So you can't go much further south.
So you're going to get all the cold Arctic winds or Antarctic winds.
Yeah, it was a bit like that today, actually. Today's been pretty cold.
Yeah. I imagine so. Invercargill is a big country town, so I imagine you've probably got a few different hurdles or different challenges to other businesses when it comes to running a business as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely is a big country town. It's very much built around agriculture and farming. So that in itself is challenging because a lot of people in that industry don't feel like they probably need our service. Attracting people to the bottom of the world is not that easy either necessarily in terms of team members. So yeah, there's definitely challenges around being based here, I think.
Yeah, but I imagine you wouldn't have it any other way. So
No, well, probably not. Like I moved here when I was, I don't even know when that was. It was late '90s. Finished school here, and always thought I'd move back further, at least to Christchurch, as far as that. But I've just stayed here, and it's not a bad place. If I forget my phone when I come to work, I can just turn around and go and get it. It's me 7 minutes to get home, mate. So
yeah, you can't really complain about that. So
no.
the business now, who have you got in the business? What does it look like today?
Yeah, so obviously got myself. My wife's recently. She was working in the business for 7 years. She's no longer working in the business, primarily since we stopped the print. She was doing a lot of that organising. So we've got one.
How did she feel when you had to make her redundant?
Oh, she was pretty happy about it. She didn't really ever want to be stuck here, I don't think, or working with me, to be honest. So,
Yeah.
so she's sort of pursuing other things now, which she's enjoying. But yeah, so it's working out for everyone really. Um, who else we got? We've got one UX UI designer. She's amazing. She's based in Christchurch, so not based in Invercargill. We've got two full stack developers, and we've got a marketing guru, I suppose you could call him. So he specialises a lot around SEO and Google Ads, paid ads, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Has the business always been around that size headcount? Have you gone larger, gone smaller?
So originally we were two or three people at one stage, early on in that sort of 2014-15, and we grew. This was actually it was an exciting time, but looking back, a pretty horrendous time as well. We went from 2 people to 9 people in 12 months. And we just, so it was a lot of the systems that I was always going to get into place weren't quite in place yet. And we didn't implode, but it was, so that was just pre-COVID. And so that was what, 2018, 2019. We won. We didn't win an award. We were a finalist in a couple of design awards and stuff like that. So we're doing some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, just kind of then COVID hit, and we slowly reduced our offerings and slowly reduced. People just left by natural attrition, I guess.
Mm. So what happened? So 2 to 9. What was that like during that in a 12-month period? Like that's
Yeah,
significant growth in a short
yeah.
time frame.
It was just nuts because we were offering such a wide gamut of things as well. So there were 9 probably separate specialists doing, semi-specialists doing different things. And I guess just trying to keep all of that under control without a lot of no sort of defined systems in place. What felt like it was hard to rein in at times.
Yeah.
Had a life of its own.
Would you do it again if you had the opportunity?
To grow again
Yeah.
to that size? Yeah, I think I definitely would. Like knowing what the old cliche, but knowing what I know now, I would still grow. I would still be keen to grow, but I would definitely have better structure, better systems in place, better expectations around, the rules of the game, I suppose you could call it, without being strict, but it was a bit of everyone was working out their own way of doing things, there was no sort of one, we were probably not singing from the same songbook all the time,
Yeah. So you thought you had a few systems in place, but you end up just bringing people on and letting them, hoping they could fly.
Yeah, pretty much, like pretty naive, I suppose, in some respects. But I think people came along and some of the time they sort of turned up, and one of the best guys I ever hired just walked in off the street, and he's only just left like a couple of weeks ago. So he was with us for 8 years. So I sort of just said yes to everyone that turned up, and thought, yeah, I think we can turn our hand to that. And I mean, it didn't not work, but it was a stressful time because you get 9 people from having 2. That's a big wage increase, and that everything around it was just added pressure, I suppose.
So, what? I guess you're probably lucky that you're still here, going from 2 to 9 so quickly. Because that's a massive change in the way you're managing cash flow and the way you're managing clients and communications.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there were times we probably thought, well, what the hell are we doing? Was pretty common thought, but I think this just managing that cash flow and the wage cost wasn't easy when we were still so used to being so small, and our revenue certainly didn't grow with with the costs in comparison.
How many sleepless nights did you have during that time?
Oh, it was a year, so 365. No, I don't know. There was definitely a few, like there were times where, the one thing that always happens and people don't, people working in the business don't see it, and I guess other people don't, is that the person who sacrifices is you, right? So all of a sudden, if the money's not necessarily there to pay the wages, I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
And that wears pretty thin, pretty quick.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want. You're building a business to have a better lifestyle, to make more money, not to not pay yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
It's amazing how many businesses with 5, 10, 15, 20 people, like the owner doesn't forget, but can't pay themselves.
Yeah.
So, like, you're not the only one that goes through that.
I was just like living, breathing person of the E-Myth, the E-Myth podcast. Kind of like I started this business doing one thing I was good at, and then all of a sudden, the thing was out of control.
Yeah. Do you read books like E-Myth or EOS? Have you?
Yeah, I listen to books a lot. I seem to retain it better if I listen to it. So I listen to it while I'm, walking or running, trying to run. So I do. I listen to quite a few business type books.
Yeah, and they always make a difference. It's just being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, you mentioned you've got a staff member in Christchurch, and we spoke last week about the fact that it's hard to find staff or hard to build a team in Invercargill. You originally wanted everyone to be based in the office, and you've had to change your mindset around that.
Yeah, I did. So I guess idealistically, I wanted to be able to also attract people to Invercargill, which to a degree we've done. So I mean, we've got a guy from Brazil, and the guy who's just left was from Romania, and they loved it here. But at the same time, it is definitely difficult to get top quality people to come here and stay here. Yeah. Queenstown is only a couple of hours up the road, so that's a benefit because it's a lot more cost effective to live here. But you can still travel to Queenstown and have that kind of lifestyle. But I found it inherently getting harder to attract people here. And the last time we hired a designer, I think we had 7 applications, and this time we had 72 by opening it up to being remote. So I think it was worth it.
Yeah. Talent pool is totally 10 times the size.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So what does that mean for if you open it up to all of New Zealand? What does that mean does it have to be just in New Zealand moving forward, or?
Well, that's what I'm, I guess, thinking about and grappling with now is, I don't think it needs to be, but it's like, that's something I need to toy with now and go, I know the benefits of potentially outsourcing offshore. But I'm quite patriotic, I suppose. So
it's always a big question around, do we do onshore, do we do offshore, do we do in office, do we do remote? So, uh, what is the what is your reason for? Is it because you're patriotic, or is it because, or are there other reasons why there's hesitation there?
I think it is. If I really drill down, it is that, like I like the idea that we do what we do locally. Maybe it's that small town mentality coming into play a little bit, but the fact that we can do what we can do from New Zealand and from Invercargill, like maybe it's partly that the underdog scenario, like I don't know. I haven't really explored too much of it. I have tried to outsource once to overseas, and it didn't work well for us. We didn't get a product at all that we had tried to outsource. So I guess that's part of it as well.
When you outsourced last time, was it a staff member or was it for a project?
So not a staff member; it was for a project. So it was a freelance or
Yeah,
external
yeah.
person. So maybe that's the difference, eh?
And I wonder if, like, I often people expect the outsourced team or the outsourced individual to be mind readers and understand the business and everything instantly, rather than, and they don't end up getting onboarded properly or trained or educated or integrated into the team.
Mm.
So, and I wonder if that could have had something to do with it as well.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, hard to know. I mean, I think sometimes when you're relying on someone else who, whether they're doing that on the side as a side hustle or whether they are um, doing it as a full time gig but doing other projects, you're sort of relying on them to juggle what they're doing as well when they're a freelancer, I guess. So hiring someone who was solely employed by us may be a different approach.
Yeah, totally. So now your journey, you went up to nine, then you've gone back. Has it been smooth sailing? What sort of based off by that smile? I'm guessing there's been a few.
Nothing smooth sailing.
And we always love to hear about what's happened. The
Oh, I mean, yeah, we have to cut this bit because I can't think now. Um, I guess, like again, it's I've hired people because they've been there as well. Whereas my new kind of strategy going forward is hiring the right people, and they really have to be a fit. And um, you know, you get you obviously don't want everyone to be the same, but you want them to have the same ideology or the same values. So they do fit in, and yeah, yeah.
so you've been known to hire people because they've been in the right place, right time, rather than the right fit.
Yeah, I think so. Well, not necessarily. We have a 3 month trial here, and there's been times where I probably should have taken advantage of that, and I haven't, or whatever. You've got to just basically, I guess, follow your gut instinct, and it's kind of that's why I smiled like that, because any time I don't follow my gut, whether it's with a staff member or a client, it always turns a bit to custard.
Yeah, totally. So, like, you've got to have a framework that you follow.
Yeah, yeah,
But often, like, if it's not going to work, and
yeah,
sometimes you're just too afraid to
yep,
make the real decision.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah.
So,
I think fear is, well, fear is both sides of the coin too. It's like, what if I don't hire this person, or what if I get rid of that client, and then what if what they're doing takes off, or what if I do need them, So there is always, that unknown.
yeah, yeah. Like, you're afraid of, am I making the right decision or not? And you're almost not backing yourself or not backing your gut.
Yeah, yeah,
So, uh, why? And this is not abnormal. Like, so many people are similar. But Why are we like that? Like, we know the decisions we need to make, but as a business owner, we often take the easy route, or we can be known to take the easy
Yeah. Well, I think that's the answer, isn't it? It's because it's easy.
route. Yeah,
Like
it's easy
everything
for
else is,
now.
well, so much of it is so hard that if something kind of seemingly seems easy or falls into your lap, then it's easy to take that as an opportunity, because you might be, you've got so many hats to wear, and you're not focusing on the right hat at the right time either. That's probably part of it.
Yeah, like you're like, okay, there's a decision there. It's easy to make. Let's just go with it. So even if it's the wrong one. All right.
We'll see what happens. Roll the
Yeah.
dice. Roll the dice.
And it's not necessarily the right thing, but sometimes we're spread so thin as business owners. So, and if there's not a clear pathway, we just take sometimes can take the
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes. Now it's like, yeah, you've just got to, and the thing is, you've got to learn from that and stop doing that if you have done it in the past, or if you keep doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, post COVID, and not just because of COVID, but the industry business is changing post COVID. So the way we do work, expectations, technology. What are you seeing? How are you seeing it's changing?
Oh, we're still in Invercargill, so things change pretty
Oh,
slowly
that's
up here.
right. Yeah,
But
yeah.
we've still got the old horse and carts driving around. No, not quite. What have we seen change? Look, I mean, obviously, everyone's talking about AI. That's not necessarily just out of COVID, but it's been happening for a while. We're
Okay,
seeing
it's
that
been
from,
around for a long time, but it's only
yeah,
just getting wings now.
yeah, that's right. It's been learned. We've been teaching it for a long time. But I guess for us, the whole working remotely is the thing we've probably only just really embraced. And when we came back from COVID, we probably had 6 people at that point, and none of them actually wanted to work from home. They were pretty adamant they wanted to be in the studio. And I think in Invercargill again, when you're only 5-10 minutes away from it, it doesn't, it's probably why. But if you got to commute, then I can see why people want to work from home. So that didn't really change for us so much. Yeah, look, I think just in recent times, really, that it's really around technology and AI, and how will that affect us, particularly with what we're doing around in that technology space.
What
Um,
change have you started implementing AI? Have your devs started using it? What's
yeah, well, so we've recently built some business plans for a client, that integrates AI. So it makes it a lot easier for people to kind of do those inputs,
yeah,
um, create their business plan and their and that sort of thing. So that's fully integrating it. I mean, the guys are using it daily um, for whatever they need it for as well. Um,
yeah.
I've found myself starting. It's hard because I'm really into SEO and for Google search, and I've found myself now starting to use AI ChatGPT instead of Google, because I'm getting probably a better answer,
Yeah,
more often than
interesting.
not. Or I don't have to search as hard. I don't have to click link and blah 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 whatever. I'm getting a more concise answer. So I think as that's going to really start to, I'm going to see people using that more often, um, maybe than Google. So we need to start figuring out
Well,
how do we
people are
optimize
starting
that.
to be able to track that they're getting search results coming from AI, like from
Yeah,
ChatGPT or
yeah,
wherever.
yeah.
So
I clicked a link in their source link in ChatGPT the other day, and it took me, and I could see the source. The UTM was ChatGPT. I can't remember who it was, but yeah. So you can, yeah, it's increasing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. How are you changing, or what do you think like? It's not going away. How's it going to change your business over the next couple of years?
I guess AI is going to change our business in the sense that it should actually, in theory, should make it easier for us to be able to do our job. Um, I don't, people say it won't take over our jobs, but I don't know. So we need to make hay while the sun shines, I think,
Yeah.
as much as we can now. Looking at other ways to diversify, I suppose, and how do we embrace it? We're certainly not afraid of it, and changes,
It's so
inevitable.
much like if you're writing code, it's got so much ability for it to expand on your code and make your code better quality, building websites, like for your devs to be brainstorming, working with AI.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I know. I did just question something with one of our developers on Thursday, and I said, can we not just chuck that into ChatGPT or something and get the answer? And he's like, well, yeah, we can, but then we're giving that to them as well. So it was some source code we needed to extract, or we need to see if we can extract from an old Windows program that these guys want rebuilt into a cloud software.
Yeah.
So, but they have no source code. It's been lost or whatever.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, well, yeah, that's a good point too. So I don't know how much do we need to be careful about how much we're feeding it? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a whole nother question. Like they say that they don't use your content to train their models, but
Yeah.
who knows? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
don't. Yeah, I don't know if I buy that.
yeah, exactly. So if you were to give other business owners one piece of advice for them on their journey as a business owner, what would that one piece of advice be?
Dramatic pause.
Dramatic pauses are
Honestly,
always the best.
I think I go back to the E Myth, right? The book and how Michael E. Gerber or whoever it is talks about having that end structure, knowing what does the business look like
Mm.
when it's finished. And I think that's something I remember having this. I'm going to digress here, but I remember having this conversation over a beer with two of my mates, and we'd all studied together. And one of them had an engineering business before he came back to study, and he said to us, "Oh, you've got to have." He introduced me to the book. You've got to have the end thing ready. And we were both looking to start our own agencies, and we're like, "Nah, that's a load of crap. You don't need that. We'll work it out as we go." But that's one thing I really think you do need to have a grasp on is
You need to know what you're working towards.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't know the destination, how do you get there?
You at least need to know the state, not just you need to know the country and at least the state. It's okay that you end up at a different airport in the state, but you need to have a general idea of where.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
because otherwise, like you might end up building a product or a service that you've got no attachment to at all, and it costs you thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of hours and dollars. So yeah, totally agree. So in marketing terms, your North Star, you need to have that North Star.
Yeah.
So, and it's not just the myth. There's so many other books that are similar. You need to know your values, your vision, your mission, why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
and you need to see your website as a tool, not just a brochure.
Oh, totally. It's not just I know that's a marketing for you right now, but it's got to be a salesperson, not just a brochure website now. Like it's gone are the days where you're just using it as as your CV.
Yeah.
Phil, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to connect?
Oh, look, so LinkedIn, I guess, or straight to our website, which is back9.co.nz.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time.
No worries. Thank you.
That's a wrap. Thanks for tuning into The Growth Equation. If you've enjoyed the show, hit that subscribe button and leave a review. It helps us big time. Catch you next time. And if you want more, head over to evolvetogrow.com.au for show notes and exclusive content.